Boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. China bans Bitcoin. Now, I'm a few days late on this headline, but nonetheless, the thesis remains unchanged. I've been around in this sector for a little bit, and this is at such a high level. China has tried to ban Bitcoin that it has basically become a long-standing meme within our community. Now, I can't even count how many times China has tried to ban Bitcoin. First off, banning Bitcoin is literally impossible. It would be like trying to stop air from moving around between borders of countries. You just can't do it. What you can do is you can make it illegal, and you can basically imprison or have some legal ramification for those who are trading it, buying, or selling. But every time China's done this before, they usually use the increasing FUD to probably accumulate more, I would assume, although I don't know much about the China's People's Bank Public Bank something, I don't know. The China People's Public Bank, the People's Bank of China, that's what it is. I don't know if they're actually accumulating, but one of the things we do know is that every time that they have done this, it just becomes noise. I've actually stated this a few times. I think that all news is basically noise. On a day-over-day price average, you should ignore what the price is doing. One of the things we try to teach here is that over time, if you make good entries, that can happen at any point. For those of you that have been long-standing members of the Private Bear family, or you know the work that we do, this is one of those images that really helps share this idea. So back here, 2011 to 2012 accumulation cycle. It took approximately 400 days till it broke out. Boom, hit a new high in 2012, 2013, and then came back down, and then went up into 2017, and then spent 2013 to 2017 accumulating. And then boom, here's the next cycle, 2018 to 2020, new high, accumulation, boom, new high, accumulation, boom. So what's important here is to understand, as far as I can tell, that every time Bitcoin has a new high, anything below that new high is basically a great time to be accumulating. Now, one of the things that's the hardest as a new investor is to understand that news is nothing but noise. Effectively, you can ignore all of the crap that people put out on a daily basis of, oh my God, Bitcoin's gonna go here, and if it does this, it's gonna go there, and if it does that, it will do this, and it does that. It's fucking trash in your brain to listen to that. One of the reasons why we use technical analysis is just so we know where the accumulation cycle is within a period of time. That way we know, should we be trying to increase at a significant level, or should we be pulling back? If we look at the $64,000 Bitcoin price, I remember Michael Saylor still did his monthly buy, but only of $15 million instead of the $300 to $400 million that they purchased when it was down near around 37,000. And that's the difference. They still bought the all-time high, they just bought a little bit less. And this is one of the important things to understand, is that when you see a chart like this, and you know that every day that you bought, had you just been patient, you'd end up in the plus. This bear cycle of 2018 to 2020 is nothing but a time to accumulate. This bear cycle of 2013 to 17 is time to accumulate. You might think to yourself, oh my God, I didn't sell right at the top here, and now I've lost all my value. But if you just only keep buying and only keep buying all of this, you end up doing really well. Now, one of the other things I thought that was a really fun kind of chart to highlight this idea was an old one that we had from about, what was it, almost 2 or 3 years now. So you can't, can you see it? Can you see it? It's not there. It's not a great color chart. We should probably like this, boom. I'm not even gonna edit this, ladies and gentlemen. You guys get, this is just, it's gonna be. So back here in mid 2018, this is a nice logarithmic chart cycle, looking at kind of one of the fun ways of how Bitcoin has grown through this logarithmic chart. Now, one of the important parts about this chart is that it starts to thin out and basically focus in on a narrower and narrower band. So in 2018, around $20,000, boom, hit 25, and carry all the way up to around 100 and something thousand, back down to 20, up to 300, back down to 100, up to 600,000. This repeating cycle, as long as Bitcoin remains the powerhouse that it is going to continue. And one of the most important parts to understand about this is that every day that stupid news comes out, unless it is a significant tragedy, like an asteroid destroying an entire side of the planet, there's nothing we've seen that have disrupted the markets. For For those of you that saw the news this morning, oh, Evergrande is getting bailed out by the Chinese government. Well, that is exactly what we said in our last video. The reason is because there is no other choice. If they stop printing, this entire game collapses. They lose all of their power, they lose all of their confidence, and they lose everything that they have over the markets today. So they will not allow that to happen. They will just turn the printing press on, and to infinity and beyond is where we are going. This means the degradation of dollars day over day is stealing from you. This is why just buying assets, Bitcoin is one of our favorites, accumulating assets of any of the things you find interesting. We're huge fans of Avalanche, clearly, big fans of Solana. I think the video game sector is going to be huge. I think that accumulating assets is the smartest thing to do because you are then trading dollars for assets. This is literally what the investment thesis is all about. Trading is when you take those assets and try to get dollars back. But if we know they're printing dollars at an extraordinary rate, and we then take this hypothesis and go, well, if they're going to just keep printing, and I extrapolate that out basically to infinity, the paper currency is worth nothing, and the assets are worth, well, at least whatever the asset would be deemed valuable throughout the course of the change of the nature of the human mind, right? So, because of that, trading dollars for assets is a very wise thing to do. Now, this is not financial advice, but a lot of you that I've spoken to have some like family thoughts about, oh my God, I should just be sitting on cash, and you don't ever buy any assets. Well, that's stupid because they're stealing from you. They are knowingly stealing from you in the idea of inflation, the printing of endless amounts of debt. So the only way to really preserve any type of asset value is by holding assets. Bitcoin just happens to sit as one of our favorite. So when China tells you they're banning Bitcoin, take it nothing. It's unimportant. It is nothing but noise. The news is nothing but trash 99% of the time. Same thing happened with Evergrande the other day. Hey, look at that, it was a bust. They're going to buy back out and it's back to normal. They're going to continue to do that. If we didn't crash in 2008 and go back to zero, if we didn't crash and go back to zero at the beginning of the pandemic, the only way we're going to crash now is when people lose total faith and confidence in the governments that are currently governing them. And that doesn't seem like it's far away either. For those of you that may have been watching Australia, it could be right around the corner. I'm currently reading a book called The Dying of Money. If you have never read it, I highly suggest it, but I will be making a few kind of short, but maybe videos like this. I like doing this. It's short, it's easy, it's fast. I just get to rant. I'm going to be talking about inflation and what societies look like as they die right as inflation starts to creep up, as I believe we are at some of those pivotal moments over the next few years based off the kind of everyday data of Joe Schmo on the street today. So anyways, Steve with the Arcane Bear, thank you guys all for joining us today. Give us a thumbs up if you like this content. I'm going to be doing more videos like this, but just like you can always tell, it's pretty random. I do it when I feel it's a valuable time to share it, when I have the time to do so. If you are in the private den, thank you guys all for supporting us. We've had a great few months. 13x on Fever, over 100x on Star Atlas. Soul Rise did a 6x. We're back up 5x on Avalanche already from that from the previous drops. So things have been going well for the private bear family. I thank you guys all for your support. And remember, trading is trading assets for dollars. Investing is trading dollars for assets.